Hi, welcome to another SAMMIT Raw video where I just jump on this channel and give you a good old rant about something that I'm passionate but also very, very frustrated about. English teaching in Japan is a trap. Don't do it, or do it for just a little small bit of time, but I will go into detail about why it's a trap, but also it is an important stepping stone for a lot of people to live in Japan, but also don't do it because it's a trap. It's hard to explain, but it's definitely a trap. Right, Riley?
Yes, without a doubt.
From two white guys in Japan.
From an ex-English teacher of 4 years.
That's true as well, yeah. So welcome to the workshop where me and Riley are gonna tell you about why English teaching in Japan is a very bad idea, but also a good idea, but also not a good idea, if that makes any sense. But in short, I'm gonna give you a quick summary. English teaching coming to Japan, it sounds great. It's a good way to get an easy, quick job that pays somewhat
Used to pay
somewhat okay
current
money.
exchange rates.
No, it's not worth it. Like the pay is pretty bad. But that aside, you get a visa and you get to live in Japan and you get to live your dream of living in Japan, right? So that's very enticing, right? And a lot of people like easy work visa. All I have to do is teach English 5 days a week, if you're lucky.
Mostly 6.
Mostly 6. But yeah, if you're lucky, 5 days a week, and what are the hours, like 9 to 5?
Depends on the company. My company was like 5 till 9.
Yeah.
Like in the evenings.
So what do you, 5 till 9 in the afternoon? Oh, so you just did like
most, there's
depends
different,
what company you're working
there's
at.
different
Yeah.
levels.
Like if you're at a school, it's early till after they go home.
If you can come to Japan being an ALT, that's a government sponsored program. It's better than the other options.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of after school English teaching places known as Eikaiwa. Those are the traps.
Yeah, and GABA and stuff like that. As well as I think the JET program is a pretty interesting one. I've known people that have been stuck in that for like 5 to 10 years, and
JET is ALT, yeah.
Yeah, like there's so many things. But anyways, long story short, English teaching, it should only be used as a stepping stone. Use it as a means of getting in Japan, getting a visa, earning some kind of income, figure out who you are and what you want to do in Japan, but don't do it for any longer than 2 years. Maybe 3 max. What happens is people get comfortable. They get comfortable with their life in Japan and they get comfortable with the visa, the little bit of money that they earn, and they then end up just living that kind of English teaching lifestyle and they get stuck in it. I've seen friends do it, and all of a sudden time warps very, very fast, and you're 10, 15 years down doing the same job on the same pay that entire quarter of your entire lifetime. So, and normally by that time, they're super, normally from the people that I've met and friends and stuff like that have experienced it, because I've never experienced this, but they get super depressed, they get super anti-Japan, they get very bitter and all that kind of stuff and upset, and they just end up leaving Japan with a super sour taste in their mouth. They've wasted a quarter of their lifetime because all they ever did was teach English.
If you've been here for long enough, you'll know the older guys in their old in their higher 50s that maybe they're a manager at some of these places making
okay money,
like $3,000 a month.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, the pay rate. But look, all of that aside, if you're passionate about teaching English, let's be honest, you're not going to be doing this kind of English teaching job. You're going to be in a university teaching English in those kinds of aspects, and you're going to be getting paid well, like 6 to 10 grand a month. But
if you went to university to become a teacher, and you are qualified to be a teacher, not just some engineer or underwater basket weaving major that.
Yeah, we're not talking about those that actually want to do this as a career. That's different. You have the experience, you have the university degree or the college degree to do that. That's what you want to do, and you're going to be in the right position, in the right, I guess, locations or companies and stuff, working and earning what you should be. But the English teaching that is just thrown around for foreigners to come live in Japan for, that's what we're talking about. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a process of how to get out of it if you are in it, or what you should do when you're coming to Japan if you're using English teaching as a stepping stone. First of all, from the moment you sign up and start your first day as an English teacher, have a plan. Like I said, 1.5 years to 3 years should be your maximum amount of time, because once you're in there longer on your resume, companies start to frown upon it, all right? Because if you've been in English teaching too long, that's all you know and that's all you're good at. 3 years is really the max. Try to get out of there within 2 years. That's my best advice from an employer's perspective. They do not want to see someone stuck in English teaching for a long period of time. So how do you get another job in Japan? Easiest thing is the 2 years, or let's just say you're doing English teaching for 2 years. Learn Japanese. Learn Japanese is probably the easiest and fastest way to get a decent other job in something that you're actually good at, whatever you studied for in your country, or whatever you're actually interested in, right? So learn Japanese, get like what? N3, N4, like even if you have N4, that's good. N3, N2 is probably better. Don't worry about N1, not even normal Japanese people are N1 level. So if you can get N2, you're great. But that's just like your Japanese testing stuff. So learn Japanese if you can, but if you're not good at learning Japanese and you just want to stick to English teaching, you want to just stick to speaking English, there is a lot of opportunities for you as just a native English speaker with barely any Japanese or none at all. Google.
Yeah.
Massive office here. I have so many friends that literally went from English teaching to work there. Some people that were stuck in English teaching for 10 plus years were finally able to get out, and they're now working as like a project manager and stuff like that in Google. There's tons of broadcasting companies that are foreign owned and all that kind of stuff for sports and things like that. There is a lot of job opportunities and a lot of foreign companies with offices in Japan, also embassies. There's also bases here, American bases. There's a ton of opportunities. Now, how do you get employed for those positions? First of all, job recruiting agencies. You're gonna have to sign up to all of them. A really good one is actually Robert Walters. In fact, a lot of the job recruiting agencies will hire native English speaking people for their companies too. So there's a lot of companies that you can get a job at. But yeah, sign up to a lot of job recruiting agencies. I think there's like eWorld, Robert Walters, and a few others like that here in Japan. Sign up for those with all your information and just start right away. I would say the moment you start teaching English, sign up for those just to see what you can do. And then at that point, they'll find you a job, they'll help everything because they get a nice, commission and a pay, like a nice check from them finding you a job, right? So if they want to get a nice bonus and a decent paycheck, they will find you a job. So at the end of the day, sign up for one of those, give them all the information and work from there. Also, work on your Japanese on the side as much as you can, get fluent, get good, and then just kill your job interviews. Do really well, go in confidently, dress up, do nice, simulate yourself. You need to fit into Japanese culture and Japanese lifestyle pretty well straight away. Don't walk around saying Hiroshima, Nagasaki. That's not gonna do good for you. Moving on from that thing that's gonna make my job so much harder in public now. I think that pretty much summarizes everything. English teaching is meant to be a stepping stone, especially if you're coming to Japan to use it to get a visa and all that type of stuff. And don't get stuck in it. And if you are stuck in it, it's not too late. Start finding a way to get out of it as soon as possible. Yeah. Riley, is there anything you want to add? You were an English teacher for 4+ years.
Yeah. One thing that's really important to realize is, despite your immediate bosses and everything like that telling you you're doing a great job, if you're enjoying your immediate coworkers, with a lot of these companies, it goes up to people that are in higher positions that only see you as a number.
Yeah, that's one thing too. The Japanese work culture is somewhat insane, especially if it's the old-fashioned kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and they just treat everyone like trash.
You're just a cog in the machine, and the minute you stop being able to work, in my example, I got sick with a fairly serious sickness.
Yeah, we don't want to say the word because last time we said the C word. YouTube buried the video, but
I think we can say that it involved doing chemotherapy and a bunch of other treatments. And when I called my previous employer to inform them, their response was, "Oh, okay, we'll take you off the schedule. Let us know when you're healthy and can come back to work." That was after working for them for 4 years, never being late once, running a bunch of events and everything on the side, increasing recruitment, having retention numbers through the roof, being praised for doing my thing, and
yeah. So at the end of the day, English teaching, it's not the greatest option unless you're doing it as a proper career and you've studied it and you're working in the actual universities and stuff.
If you're passionate about being in education and you have a position that is in education, don't confuse being an educator and being an English teacher. The qualifications for most English teachers are: can you somewhat speak English? Do you have a pulse? And are you able to turn up on time? If you've hit two or 2 of 3
half
of those
of the
things.
time, like some of my friends that have done this job literally just get seated, like they put them in the corner of a classroom, and the teacher who's actually the teacher runs the class, and then goes
human tape recorder
and just goes, this is the sentence in English I'm teaching you today. You know, the dog caught the ball, and then the teacher goes and looks at the person that actually is the English
dog
teacher
caught the ball.
and goes, Dishel, like, that's right, yeah, and then that person goes, yeah, that's right. It's the most boring. There's different variants of it, but
the term for that is literally human tape recorder.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
it's pretty bad. So yeah, that's my lesson today. That's my rant, and that marks the end of this SAMMIT Raw video. Please ignore the 180 in the background. That's not my car. That is someone's car. That is a very famous car on the internet for not good reasons. We'll talk about that later. But thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe. This channel's blowing up. 100K by the end of the year, baby. Let's go. How do I do this again? Bye.